Hello everybody, this is Brett here, and I wish to discuss something about what Tom Voight recently sent an email about. So he sends an email and it says exclusive to ZodiacKiller.com. This is a letter Paul Avery believed was from the Zodiac, although it is somewhat disguised. So first off, I had a quick look at this letter and I just thought it's probably someone just pretending to be Zodiac or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, just to, be a prankster. But then I had a look at this letter, and it has some key things inside it that, in my opinion, now I'm 99% sure this is the Zodiac. And on top of it, being the Zodiac, that, again, it's got a unique feature that is very rare in it. That, as I said, you've got the Hoover letter, you got the 1990 card letter, you got another handwriting sample, and so I decided that this is actually probably real. And why? What characteristic has this letter got that makes me think that? So let's go and have a look at this letter, shall we? So I saved it to have a quick look, and there's a few things that you got to know about this. So this is the one key that this is why this letter is legit. And do you know what that is, everybody? The answer is this right here. Do you see it? A capital R where there should be no R's. I mean, not no R's, no uppercase R's. Here, again, uppercase R. And I'm going to show you something that is so crazy. See, here again should be a lowercase r. And so this writer mixes uppercase and lowercase, but especially with the R, like putting an uppercase R at the end of your here. So, and get a load of this. As I said, my suspect, his name appears in both ciphers with, his name was ZO in the story. No one has to like it. It's just a fact. And has he got his name on this letter? You tell me. So let's go and have a look. Going down. Oops. And then he writes his name right here. Do you see it? Do you see it? Right here. Do you see that? It is an R and also an A, what I call hybrid, what's the word? Hybrid lettering, that Zodiac mixes letters together to make two letters. And I've got samples of this. And what is the magical name, everybody, that everybody hates? We got the L, we got the E, we got the A and the R in the same thing. Because look how similar that is looking as an R, in my opinion, like making that look like an R. And look, here's an A here, for example, where we've got an A there. So he's put that one there. Look at that A, but look at this A. Look at this, it's making it look like an R. And what other letters am I talking about? Once again, we got the Hoover letter. That, as I said with the Donna Lass letter, as someone pointed out, the similarities in handwriting and my own discovery are the gaps in words. Like, as I said here, California, but again, uppercase R with cursive writing. Uppercase R here. Uppercase R here at the end where it should be lowercase r. And, as I said, and then we have got this card here where thou art you gone. It is here. And once again, and my suspect is supposed to be dead at this point in time, so he can't write this. But I'm going to say that I suspect him, as I have also stated, that he found someone who looks like him. And this has happened, I know of about 4 cases, but 2 strong ones off the back of my hand, and they swapped identities. They killed him and took the identity. And this letter here even says, you thought I was dead? No way. But again, this card, 1990, is the use of capital R's where there should be lowercase r's. And, like, here's a lowercase r here, but there's an uppercase R there. And you could ask here, we've got murdered, like uppercase here, lowercase there. And so this card here, like the Hoover letter and the Paul Avery letter, which is way, like, I think it's even before the Hoover letter, had these capital R's where there should be lowercase r's. And as I like to point out, everybody who hates my suspect, the most hated suspect of all, but fits it all, when he was 15, the one and only Earl Van Best. Look here, right, street, lowercase e's, lowercase t's, but a capital R. Again, right, September, the same way, all lowercase here, capital R. And again, most people write Junior with a J and a small r. He uses a capital R. And so, and once again, as I said, the 340 cipher gets solved. David Aranchak's pivots. As I said, look whose name appears with the solved keys. This is not without altering anything. And the SO and the R and the A, that's ZO and that's JR. And like here, you can see it here. EV, JR, ZO. Earl Van Best Jr. And in that exact spot, his name appears. And as I like to say, people, David, like Aranchak, like, he loves to debunk, but he did not debunk this find of Gary Stewart's. How convenient of poor David. And ironically, Gary Stewart uses the V in best, but I use this V here, and again you get Van Best Jr. ZO. And as I showed everybody else, here, Earl Van, you put the 408 keys in the 340. I mean, yeah, that's right. And his name appears, like Earl Best was ZO. This one here, I keep the B as a literal, like EV, JR, ZO. And this one here. And as I like to say, the Zodiac only use VE to spell best, and then at the end of the 408 cipher, we have E, VE. As I said, the J was represented by an X, and a R, reverse R equals R. So he was almost spelling Earl Van Best Jr. right at the end of this, if anyone likes it or not. Again, as Gary Stewart says that his mother said, I think your father's name is Van. Gee, that's not nice. Oh yeah, I can't remember, you know, who I gave a child to. But then we got these V shapes here. Once again, we tick those boxes. As I like to say, the one and only Earl Van Best Jr. marries a 14-year-old girl. In the eye of this skeleton, I believe it's a love heart. I love 14. Zodiac quoting 14 3 times. Reverse N is the 14th letter. So another reflection on that. And as I like to point out, that in the 340, ironically, fan and slaver are the errors. Those were used as ZO, as I'm pointing here. So ironically, the errors are ZO. And as I just showed, I'll put 340 keys, no, 408 keys in the 340. And now the 340 gets solved. And as I like to show here first, I said this is by Earl because the best wishes key, which is this one here. As I said, it gives FKLM, and as I said, the 340 arrived with one reverse Q had FK and symbol L for the 408, and the other reverse Q had the M. And so in this cipher, that this key would not have known what was coming with the 340 to put FKLM for the reverse Q, but I think it was only M ever used. So I believe it means 14 kid, love, marriage, Q for the Queen. That's just a wild guess of mine. And so I just showed you how I got by Earl in the 408, and then all of a sudden the 340 gets solved, as I showed here. So that's the by Earl bit. The reverse F is used as B and a Y. I've got a long story with that. And then the word fun, as I said, we can see FUN. Reverse F is the B key of the 340, see B here. We go E is the N is the E, C E, 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 N. U is the S, and T there, spelling best. And what's the odds? R-A-Z-O, best, Earl. And I called it earlier. So, as I said, I'm hunting this Tosky DNA profile. As I said, Tom Voight's own little card claims that this profile got tested, like as I learnt that they tested the letters, and so we got here DNA sample obtained, not authentic. DNA sample obtained on the Tosky letter, and they only compared it to swapping the outside of the envelope, which is on one of my other videos of the Dateline. They said, oh, they swapped the outside of the stamp, so that could be anybody's, but then it says here, DNA sample obtained. And as I said, I've got Earl Van Best Jr.'s DNA on this thing, and let's go and have a look at it. First off, we go Tosky, as I like to say, considered fake for one reason, a few reasons, but naming Tosky by name. But again, the Best Wishes card also named a detective by name. Ironically, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letter also mentions 2 other policemen by name. Again, as someone else found this, that the stamp sets come from a series, and these letters were sent 8 days apart. So the Tosky one was not a lone rogue letter. We had 3 of them. And the Tosky and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters sent days apart. Why, as I said, and both of these letter writers wrote the Y's with the same way, and they both had similar sentences about who will play me. You know, I'm waiting for a good movie about me, who will play me. And then the next one is, remember, whoever plays me has his work cut out for him. So we've got plays me in both. And what are the odds of 2 letter writers that 8 days apart claiming to be Zodiac, not being the same letter writer? And then as I then went on to this, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letter, it wanted to tell a story. I was trying to solve the 340, come out with equal letter skipping, and I came across this, like the word boy in 408, and there's even another boy there, and this one here in the 340, and then these patterns appear, reflecting this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all good children go to heaven. And so, and then, why would the Channel 9 letter, if it's fake, how would they know this? If I am correct that that was Zodiac writing this, so he probably did write Tosky, and we have that here with this boy again, and the B and the Y, long story. And so, let's go and have a look here. As I was saying here, I've got a lot of files here. We'll check out this one. This is like, the file name is Scott, as I was saying with Earl Van Best, with the Donna Lass card, that the E is raised up in the air. Earl does this, and the T's are finished the same way as the Donna Lass card is, but that's not what I want to show. We'll have a look what's in here. And these are my letters that I wrote off to the San Francisco Police Department to try and resolve this, but yeah, you know, have a look. But this is Earl Van Best Jr.'s DNA profile numbers right here. And so, as I like to say, I want this Tosky profile. Here are the numbers right here. So we've got this guy's name. If you love him or hate him, in both ciphers multiple times. We've got a guy writing by the name of Best Wishes twice, and as I said before, he marries a 14-year-old girl. Zodiac sends in a Halloween card with a love heart in the eye, and so there's a lot of things here. So here we go, and we put here Scott Wonky. This is his email. Get a load of this. There you go. That's his email, phone number, and I've just been asking him for 3 years to check this out or to give me an answer about this Tosky profile. That, as I said, Tom Voight says that that his card, again, is probably what Sydney Holt just listed all the letters and just did a spreadsheet, that is legit. That he got it from the Vallejo PD, or most likely the SFPD, as he likes to get these things. And the card itself says, DNA profile obtained, not authentic. And so I want to know, did Earl Van Best Jr. write the Tosky letter? Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this video.